Hello, my name is Ashley, and this is the Visual Art News, where you find out what's going on in the art world. The Frick Art and Historical Center is an art museum. On display there are some paintings from Vincent van Gogh, Monet, Degas from the Mellon collection of French art from the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. This exhibition will be going on from March 17th to July 8th. Covering more than 150 years of French art, the exhibition includes the works of Impressionist artists such as Manet, Renoir, Toulouse-Lautrec, Alfred Sisley, and Camille Pissarro, as well as Romantic artists such as Géricault, Delacroix, and post-impressionist and modernist work of Matisse and Picasso, along with Pierre Bonnard. The paintings displayed in the art exhibition by Claude Monet include 4 works in the show, including one of his late works from the dazzling irises in his garden. Those displayed by Degas are 10 works, including his most famous sculpture of the Little Dancer. There are 3 works of Vincent van Gogh in the exhibition at the Frick Museum of Art, which include the laundry boat on Senrier, the wheat field behind St. Paul's Hospital, and Daisy's R.L.S. The Women's Historical Month was in March, and some may say that the first ever artist was a female named Debussy, who traced a silhouette of her lover. Others may not agree with this, as most women thought this field was for men only and very biased. Some women artists had to be known through their fathers or husbands, like that of Mary Beale from the late 1600s, known for her portraits, but presented in her husband's studio as experiments in the methods that he had developed. Women weren't really known until the 1960s, when they were teaching others how to draw or paint in the United States and Europe, when the rights of women were equal among men. Artemisia Gentileschi was the first woman artist to receive notable recognition during her life in the Renaissance period in the 17th century, joining the Italian Academy in 1616. In 1612, she filed a lawsuit against Agostino Tassi for raping her, promising her that he'd marry her to restore the culture's notion of virtue. They had sentenced him to 1 year in prison, which he never served, and had left Artemisia forever changed. She continued her work by focusing on imagery of solidarity between women, powerful women, and graphic depictions that served as an emotional release for her in her artwork. After her death, though, some of her paintings were thought to be her father's, or represented as her father's. These are some of her works of art. As you can see, the emotional display that she showed throughout her work of art. Another artist is Mary Cassatt, who was born in PA, known best for her Impressionist art, who focused on women, children, and motherhood as subjects of her work. In 1866, at the age of 15 until 21, she moved to France to further her study and work to get private lessons because women couldn't study art in schools. Her father had actually represented her because he didn't like the way that she was moving to further her career. In 1868, she made a painting of a mandolin player, and it was selected for the Paris Salon, the official art exhibition of the Académie des Beaux-Arts, being one of the first women artists to have been accepted in the exhibit. She took somewhat of a break because of the Franco Parisian War in 1870, but later returned with an impressionistic style, befriending Edgar Degas. And these are some of her works of art, which shows the motherhood aspect of her work. Georgia O'Keeffe studied at the Art Institute of Chicago in early 20th century, creating pieces where art imitates or represents nature, but had ceased pursuing a career as an artist until studying under Arthur Wesley Dow, turning away from realism and experimenting with the abstract world. Noted as the first American artist to break away from realism to pursue a new age of American art, which is pure abstraction. Alfred Steinglitz is a well-known photographer who displayed her works in his gallery 291, kicking her career off as an artist, but also their relationship and eventual marriage. Much of her flower-centric work is regarded as also depicting female genitalia, but she didn't really, she rejected these interpretations. She painted well into her 80s, and when her eyesight failed, she worked with assistants creating motifs from her memories. And these are some of her paintings. Frida Kahlo is a Mexican surrealist painter known for her brilliantly colored and strange self-portraits. She suffered from polio as a child, causing her right leg to be thinner, hiding it under skirts for most of her life. At 18, she was in a bus accident with some serious injuries on her body, including a lifetime of pain episodes and reproduction issues, later appearing as a common subject of her artwork. Painting over 140 paintings, 55 self-portraits, these were filled with emotion, passion, and often turned inward, giving the world insight into her mind and state of being. Themes included symbolic expressions of her physical changes in the psychological state, such as wearing back braces and spinal surgeries. She quoted, "I never painted my dreams, I painted my own reality," which is kind of important as a woman because it shows off her being an emotional person and putting that into her artwork, as you can see in these two pieces that she displayed. Well, that's all for everything that I have on the Visual Art News. Thank you for joining, and have a great day.